Championship game, and it's a full programme in Leagues 1 and 2. This here, Huddersfield against Birmingham, the only 8 o'clock kickoff. We've got all the goals as they go in. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
The big preview on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our odds boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+, GambleAware.org.
As I say, we're taking you around the grounds, all the goals as they go in. And tomorrow night, what a night we've got for you. Celtic against Villa live on TalkSport. Manchester City's win or bust Champions League group stage encounter at home to Bruges. I'll be there. That's live on TalkSport 2 tomorrow night. But coming up, we're going to take you around the grounds on Kickoff on TalkSport.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight-line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+, GambleAware.org. Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our odds boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+, GambleAware.org.
You don't need an office.
Good win against Borough as well, coming back from behind.
Joe Bryan's just put the ball out of place, and Millwall have a throw over on the far side. And we can just about see Joe Bryan because of the overhang of this stand. If the ball goes aerially,
yeah,
we could play spot the ball, you and me, Scott Minter, and we wouldn't have a clue, would we?
Or if he was 6'4", we wouldn't be able to see his head right now,
yeah,
would we?
Yeah, Peter Crouch would not be my favourite player in a stadium such as this. Or dear old Kevin Francis, who
Indeed.
was 6'7" and ended up being a Canadian Mountie after he retired from football, which only means you've got to feel sorry for the horse, haven't you? Marlon Pack clears the ball downfield for Portsmouth. We played a couple of minutes. It's 0-0 on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. And here's Ray Spangura-Williams, the number 10 for Millwall, finding Connolly. Left-hand side, gets into the area, pulls it across. Oh, what a miss! What a miss from Ray Spangura-Williams, right in front of goal. He surely couldn't miss, but he somehow contrived to steer the ball wide in front of an open goal. Millwall should be 1-up. It's as simple as that.
Oh my goodness. The young lad with so much talent. He actually started the attack himself, played out the ball out wide to Aaron Connolly. For some reason, they had an extra man at the far post, and the ball came to him. And you just got to be expecting it. Yes, it came at him quickly, but it was pretty much an open goal. Get good contact and just hit the target. Keeper was absolutely beaten.
I can't believe he's missed that. I cannot believe.
Well, he can't either.
Well, he's 20 years of age, Ray Spangura-Williams. He was a former Chelsea and Tottenham academy kid. Just signed an extension to his contract. He scored a goal against Dagenham and Redbridge and scored on his league debut as well. So he does know where the back of the net is, but that's up there with a miss that Steve Stone had for Nottingham Forest at Reading, I think, back in the day.
Not quite the Ronnie Rosenthal, would you put that in the
same? Adi missing a goal for Wolves at Sheffield United from right under the crossbar that I remember reporting on. Wow. 5 minutes gone, and somehow it's goalless here. Millwall should be 1-up. Bolton are 1-up. George Thomason, Julian Darby still in charge of the Trotters after Ian Evatt left the club. But a good start for Bolton. They won at the weekend as well. And Bolton start the day in 9th, find themselves a goal to the good through that George Thomason strike against Northampton. Goal kick here to Portsmouth. It's 0-0.
I think it's really important that Spangura-Williams just puts that out of his mind now. I was at the Den in the game against Dagenham and Redbridge where he came off the bench and scored a really good goal. You can see the talent he's got, and obviously with Romain Esse gone now as well, I'm not saying he can immediately fill the boots, but he's certainly got great talent. Look, get yourself in the right position next time as well, and you know that next time you'll react quicker and you put the ball in the back of the net. But there's no doubt about it, that was a big miss, and whatever the score tonight, and probably unless he scores a hat-trick, he'd be lying on his bed tonight as his head hits the pedal and thinking, what happened there?
Portsmouth have the ball inside their own half at 0-0 with Marlon Pack still playing at centre-half in extremis. He's well known as a centre midfielder during his days at Cardiff, never mind his time here at Portsmouth. But Connor Shaughnessy is fit again and back amongst the substitutes. Rob Atkinson not here tonight. We gather he's poorly, and that's why he's not featuring for Portsmouth, so Pack has to continue in that unusual position. Down the right-hand side, Callum Lang tries to get the better of Joe Bryan, and it's worked up to halfway. Ivanovic, who scored that lovely goal at Kenilworth Road on Saturday, just loses possession, and Freddie Potts making tracks down the Portsmouth right. Midway point of the Millwall half. 0-0 on TalkSport 2. We played 6 minutes at Fratton Park. Forward comes Pack again, and Millwall have retreated to their own defensive third largely. Murphy, down the left-hand side. Josh Murphy swings across in, headed away by Millwall, tucked in field by Mihailovic, and then away downfield goes Duncan Watmore, but out from his penalty area comes Nicholas Schmidt to clear downfield. But Bangura Williams can turn it over the top, but Mihailovic can't turn and give chase, and it just trickles through to Nicholas Schmidt, the Portsmouth goalkeeper. 0-0.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Marlon Pack as well, and him not, you know, he is a central midfielder, he's not a centre-half, he's someone who's a very experienced player but can do a job there. But he's alongside Hayden Matthews, who's obviously new to the English game as well. So I just wonder whether, you know, it's something that Millwall, especially Mihailo Ivanovic, should be thinking, do you know what, I've got to play on these two. You give me quality ball and I can do something against them.
2 quick goals for Leyton Orient in League One. 10 unbeaten, the O's, and Azim Abdullahi has scored twice in 2 minutes to make it Exeter 0, Leyton Orient 2, and Swindon 0, Tranmere Rovers 1 down in League 2. An early goal there for Tranmere, 1 winning 7, and the lowest goals tally in League 2, but Josh Davison has given them the lead at the county ground. Freddie Potts just down for Portsmouth here, inside his own half, just on his haunches. Seems to have been caught in that last attack, but I think he's going to be okay to continue. Ian Danter and Scott Minto with you here on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. Portsmouth, remember, starting the night just above the drop zone. Millwall 7 points clear of the relegation zone, got their first win in 7 in the league at Luton Town, and they've only won twice away from home, but they have won their last 4 in all competitions against Portsmouth in League and Cup, if you believe in those bogey teams sort of statistics that do the rounds now and again. Here's Josh Murphy for Pompey.
Can I be a bit of a party pooper? I personally don't believe in those.
No, I'm sure you don't.
Especially when you've got new managers.
Lang goes down at the edge of the area. Felt he was obstructed by Jake Cooper, but the referee says play on. Tanganga tries to bring it clear for the Lions, but he's been dispossessed. And now Freddie Potts, who seems to be okay, rolls it back out left to Murphy, skips past Tristan Kramer, but then Denora puts his foot in, helped out by Watmore, and he will try and launch a counter-attack, swings it across to the left, and Connolly is picking up the ball, but the offside flag went up against Ivanovic, and Portsmouth get a free kick here on TalkSport, where we've got 9 minutes gone at Fratton Park. It's 0-0. Scott Minto.
Yeah, he shouldn't be offside. He should be able to look along the line. Denori's tried to play that early ball, and he should be able to just read the game, read when the ball's coming, look along the line, make sure you're onside. And it was actually a good tackle from Denori, and an opportunity for Millwall to try and get a counter-attack.
Pack hits a sweeping pass out to the right-hand side. Ritchie heads it in field, but it's straight into the path of Jake Cooper, such an experienced Millwall central defender, one of the mainstays for quite some time of this Millwall squad. Watmore can't win the header against Pack, but it has gone out of play directly underneath our commentary position for a Millwall throw just over halfway, and Tristan Kramer is going to take it. And Kramer not long back from a loan spell at Exeter. He was on Brentford's books, and that's who he's joined Millwall from, officially. Ball given away on halfway, and Colby Bishop tries to feed it through for the run of Callum Lang. Only half cleared by Millwall. It's Josh Murphy, left-hand side for Pompey, left-hand corner of the area. Swings the ball into the box, but it's too close to the keeper, and a very comfortable claim for Liam Roberts. It stays 0-0.
Yeah, it's unlucky, and that's the thing about what Josh Murphy can do. Yes, he's right-footed, he can certainly be that inverted winger, but he's more than happy to try and get the ball onto his left foot and whip the ball in as well. And I just wonder whether Colby Bishop could have read that and just try to get in front of his defender.
That sound you heard was Scott Minto dropping his phone. I pick it up, but I'm a bit preoccupied at the minute.
Don't worry.
Wycombe 0, Barnsley 1 in League One. So Wycombe starting the night in second, trail Barnsley, who started the day in sixth. Back-to-back defeats for the Tykes lately, but John Russell has given them the lead at Adams Park, and Burton lead Reading by 1-0. Back-to-back wins for the Brewers lately, and the Royals, on the back of 3 straight defeats, find themselves behind at the Pirelli. Rumaan Burrell with the goal for Burton Albion. 0-0 here with, 12 minutes gone on TalkSport 2.
Do you know what, Dan? It's so tight down here. I'm having to put the phone between my feet and try and flick it up.
Yeah.
Reminded me about 20, 30 years ago.
You never lost it. Never lose those skills.
Never had it.
Ball's back with Nicholas Schmidt, who had a couple of moments, it has to be said, for Portsmouth on Saturday. Let the first West Bromwich Albion goal slip through his grasp, and then couldn't hold on to it, what was admittedly a very fierce shot for West Brom to tuck away the second. But he sends the ball forward, and now it's out on the right-hand side with Matt Ritchie. Rolls the ball in field to Potts. Lovely touch out to the right-hand side. Swanson tries a cross. It's blocked by the backside of Joe Bryan, but Swanson will go back to the halfway line. Good ball to give it back to Marlon Pack, who's in a bit of space and drives into the Millwall half. Plays it into the feet of Murphy, just rides the challenge of Kramer and drives a smashing ball out to Swanson on the right wing. Swanson with a deep cross right across the face of goal. It almost got stuck under Kramer's feet, but he didn't have to get it clear, but only as far as Connor Ogilvie. Now Murphy again, left-hand corner of the area, checks onto his right, tries to drive, and it bounces in front of Roberts, and he gathers well. 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Do you know what, really good football there. What a ping that was from Josh Murphy, just pinging it out to the right wing. I wonder whether he actually just should have just tried to get into the box, because there was only Colby Bishop in there, and he was being well manhandled by the centre-halves. Wasn't a penalty in any way. Great ball in from Swanson. It goes to the far post, and no one's there. Good play, though, from Portsmouth, I have to say.
Elsewhere in League 2, the leaders, Walsall, having a bit of a wobble lately. Lost 2 of their last 3, and they're 1-0 down at Fleetwood. Rooney scored. That's Sean Rooney for the Cod Army. Ian Danter and Scott Minto with you here at Fratton Park for our one championship game of the night. Portsmouth 0, Millwall 0. We played 13 minutes on the south coast, and Portsmouth had possession with Freddie Potts. Tried to play it across to Murphy, but it was comfortably intercepted inside his own half by Millwall right back Tristan Kramer. And he rolls the ball into the feet of Duncan Watmore. Has to track back into his own half because he had Connor Ogilvie right at his back. But Watmore's got it again, now facing forwards, and finds Bangura Williams, who's had comfortably the best chance of the game, not taken, with an extraordinary miss from right in front of goal. Japhet Tanganga wants of Tottenham, plays it out to Aaron Connolly, left-hand side, and that's back with the 2 centre-halves of Millwall, Cooper and Tanganga. Tanganga floats it out looking for Bangura Williams, but Connor Ogilvie quickly across to slide in and put it out of play for a Millwall throw. 0-0.
Yeah, good left-back play, I have to say, from Ogilvie. Not giving Bangura Williams any time on the ball. Just as Tanganga's kind of, the first time he's pinged it out to the left, then he got the ball back and he's kind of dinked it out to the right, and that's where you, as a left-back, you want to try and just make that statement to the winger you're up against and say, I'm not going to give you any time on the ball at all.
Lots of goals going in the EFL tonight. Wrexham trail at home to Stevenage. Remember, they're unbeaten at the racecourse, but Dan Kemp has given Stevenage the lead. Charlton, Scott's old side, lead Bristol Rovers by a goal to nil. Matty Godden, one of the best pieces of business in the summer window to get him after he was released by Coventry City. And a third for Leyton Orient at Exeter. Sean Clare adding to Abdullah's breaks. Exeter 0, Leyton Orient 3. They are coming with a wet sail, the O's, for the playoffs.
They're playing really well. They won at the Valley early in the season in the Cup.
Richie Wellens doing a fine job. Now here's Watmore for Millwall as they come forward again down this right-hand side with the London Lions attacking the Milton end to our right where their supporters are. Jake Cooper tries to drive it down the left channel looking for Aaron Connolly, but that's been overhit and out for a goal kick. Crew 1, AFC Wimbledon 0 down in League 2. That's second against fifth tonight, and second place Crew have the lead through Jamie Knight-Lebel. And AFC Wimbledon not in too shabby form, 5 unbeaten under Johnny Jackson.
Pleased for him, great lad.
Goal kick for Portsmouth, smacked downfield by Schmidt, but it'll be straight onto there to George Saville, who tries to nod it through for Connolly to run onto, but that's the first time we've seen Hayden Matthews facing his own goal and under pressure, but he cleared away well, the youngster, for a Millwall throw, 0-0.
And you know what, that's really sensible defending, because he was facing his keeper and could easily have tried to play it back, but the pass back needed to be perfect if it was, so in the end he just thought, no, safety first, I'm going to kick it out. Okay, yes, Millwall have a chance of a throw in here and a possible attack, but that could have been an absolute nightmare for Pompey if the pass hadn't been perfect.
Just signed for what, just over $1 million from Sydney FC. He only made 36 appearances for the Australian club. He's got 1 cap for his country, and he's making his debut tonight for Pompey at the back.
That's a lot of money for the Aussie club.
Cross from the left-hand side from Connolly, deflected behind by Matthews. And that's a corner to Millwall at the Milton end, where it meets the stand on the far side opposite the main stand. Fleetwood 2, Walsall 0. James Bolton doubles Fleetwood's lead at Highbury against the leaders of League 2. So a corner, and I'd love to be able to tell you who's taking it, but I cannot see who it is for Millwall. I think it's Joe Bryan, because it should be a left-footed out-swinger. Yes. In any case, a lot of players massed around the penalty spot, including the centre-halves Cooper and Tanganga, but peel away to the far post. In comes the corner, up goes Kramer, gets one head to it, and it's headed into the side netting by Aaron Connolly. And a few of the Millwall fans behind that goal thought it was the right side of the side netting for them, but it was not. And in the end, it is merely a goal kick to Portsmouth and stays 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Well, depending on where you were in the ground, it looked like it was a goal because the netting certainly bulged, but I think the angle was so tight he wasn't able. And a little bit of pressure as well from a Pompey defender, not able to get a clean header and make sure it was on target. But it wasn't even the best of corners from Joe Bryan. He's got a great left foot, but just kind of dinked it high. But the header was first one, and it got to Connolly. Just wasn't quite at the right angle in the end, and yeah, just hit the side netting. 18
minutes gone. It's been an entertaining game that we've been taking in so far, myself and Scott Minto. Hope you're enjoying it wherever and however you're listening to TalkSport 2. Here come Portsmouth with Zach Swanson down the right-hand side, works it out to Richie on the right wing, level with the edge of the area, swirling left-footed ball, well defended by Tanganga, comes out to Murphy, tries to volley it towards goal. Now with his back to goal, it's teed up for Callum Lang, and he shoots over the bar as he span just by the 6-yard box, the corner of it, and smacked it over the crossbar, got underneath it. But that's decent from Portsmouth, but it stays goalless.
Yeah, do you know what? This is actually a really good game. Both teams are trying to get the win. You know, and I think it could be the first goal is very, very important, but it's one of those games, if it stays open all the way, you could be seeing 3 or 4 goals here.
Well, Alex Neil has talked about the need to sort of release the shackles a little bit for Millwall and make them a little bit more forward-thinking.
Yeah, and then Callum Lang, you know, the quality player that he is, and you know, he's a really good wide player and technically good.
Yeah, they're missing Paddy Lane, of course. Paddy Lane got that nasty injury at Blackburn. I think he's out for the season.
Yeah, but
which is a big blow.
It's another one of those opportunities where, I mean, obviously not as big, clearly as Bangura Williams down the other end, but just got to be hitting the target, testing the goalkeeper.
And the referee, Dean Whitestone, just wants a word with a couple of players. I think Ivanovic down the right-hand side and Swanson just having a bit of pushing and shoving right on the far touchline as they wait for this throw to come in from Joe Bryan. Peterborough lead Wigan by a goal to 0 in League One. Mamadou Susoho, I should say that right. Try saying that after a couple. He's put the Posh ahead, and they're on a dreadful run, as you'd have heard from Adrian Durham earlier. He's not happy, but Wigan are in great form. But the Posh lead. And Stevenage have got a second at Wrexham. Jamie Reid. Wrexham 0, Stevenage 2. Is Wrexham's unbeaten home record about to be ended tonight? Mihailo Ivanovic is running after the ball, knowing that the flag for offside is going to go up, and he sort of apologetically chased after the ball. When he got within about a yard of it, the flag went up from the official. So Portsmouth have a free kick in their left-back position.
Just thinking about pronouncing difficult names, the chief football reporter on TalkSport, Alex Crook.
Yes.
Is he a mascot tonight or part of the
He's been
sponsors?
hobnobbing with the hoi polloi, I've noticed, pre-kick-off with the... he's sent me a picture on my WhatsApp.
He sent us all picture of it.
Well, he's right behind the dugout. So, knowing Crookie, he's probably in John Mousinho's ear, giving him a right load of verbal.
When you said about pronouncing it after a couple of drinks, I wonder whether he's been enjoying himself in court.
Well, yeah, better be careful, hadn't he? Yeah, exactly.
He was meant to be out with Callum Best, but Callum didn't make it in the end. Callum knew he was going to go out of Crookie.
He's probably got us in his ears, probably got the TalkSport app on, listening to us. You're with TalkSport 2 at Fratton Park. 0-0 in this entertaining championship encounter between Portsmouth and Millwall. Portsmouth only 2 points clear of the bottom 3, but 7 unbeaten at home against Millwall, 7 points clear of relegation. And out comes Liam Roberts, the Millwall keeper, to smother the ball as the throw-in from Portsmouth from the left-hand side just trickled into the area. Notts County lead Carlisle by a 0-0 at Meadow Lane in League 2. 1 defeat and 7 for Notts, and Alassane Yatta makes it 13 for the season with his opener against the side in Carlisle, who are just 1 off the bottom and staring relegation to the National League firmly in the face. Roberts, the Millwall keeper, comes out and clears from good 25 yards out and shanked his clearance somewhat, but it didn't find a blue Pompey shirt, much to his pleasure, and so it's a throw-in for Pompey on halfway, 0-0.
Good goalkeeping by coming out and taking control of the situation, but the way he scuffed that could easily have fallen to a Pompey player, and it would have been a free goal to try and go from 30-40 yards.
Ogilvie goes back to Nicholas Schmidt, who's being watched by Ivanovic, so the Pompey keeper chips it downfield, comfortably headed back over halfway by Ivanovic, but there was a push by Watmore, which gives Pompey another free kick. And things have just calmed a little here at Fratton Park in the last 2 or 3 minutes. But here comes Josh Murphy down the Pompey left, early ball into the box. Oh, swung across the face of goal, comes out to Ritchie, shot was blocked. And the chance that came for Colby Bishop, snatched at it at the near post, almost a swing and a miss from the Pompey number 9.
Yeah, it was brilliant play wing play from Josh Murphy, yet again down the left-hand side. Just putting it in with his left foot. And Bishop, look, they're not the easiest when they're coming at you quickly and you've got to try and take a swing at it, but yeah, it's really poor connection, and then at the far post as well. Really good play, Ritchie coming in, and Joe Bryan just making the block. And just when it looks like this game's starting to calm down, you know, one of these two teams creates a really good chance, and I think it's a game that deserves at least 1 goal, if not 2. It's perhaps a surprise it's still 0-0, but certainly hope both teams carry on with the intent of trying to win this game in the way that they are.
I'm a big fan of any midfielder that knows when to play an early ball and when to get beyond the defender.
Yes.
And Josh Murphy knew exactly what he was doing, spotted that Bishop was in a bit of space and sent the ball in early.
And it's so annoying for the fullback, I can speak from experience, where you think, well, you haven't beaten me, but you got the cross in and that could have easily been a goal. I've got to get tighter. So then if you do, the winger might go past you.
Poor free kick from Millwall, and Portsmouth trying to counter, but Callum Lang is challenged by Tanganga, and he's gone down in some distress as Callum Lang and wants some treatment.
There's a great tackle from Tanganga.
Yeah.
And he's got the ball and the man, and certainly there was no malice in that. He certainly got the ball, 80% of it, but he's caught Callum Lang here, and Lang looks as if he's in quite a lot of pain.
You know, he's being attended to by a couple of Pompey physios, whilst Alex Neil and John Mousinho have a word with 1 or 2 of their respective first 11 players. George Saville and Duncan Watmore and Ivanovic having a chat with Alex Neil, for example, and Isaac Hayden, who actually he's not been involved that much so far tonight in the Pompey midfield. Isaac Hayden, he's chatting with John Mousinho. A reminder that tomorrow night across the TalkSport network, it's the final night of the group stage in the Champions League, match day 8 And our options for you are Villa against Celtic on TalkSport, Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend at Villa Park. I will be at the Etihad, Manchester City against Club Brugge, me and Stuart Pearce. City have to win to ensure that they even get through to the playoff round against the Belgian champions.
Great game, Villa-Celtic as well.
It is. And Villa will want to try and get into the top 8 if they possibly can and avoid a playoff for the round of 16. And we also have the final match day of the group stage in the Europa League on Thursday. So Spurs against Elfsborg will be live on TalkSport with Jim Proudfoot, and you're going to be there, aren't you, as well, Scott?
Looking forward to it.
Meantime, FCSB, once known as Steaua Bucharest, against Manchester United. That'll be on TalkSport too. And the man who's just beneath us having his prawn sandwiches right now, Alex Crook, will be on commentary on that one with Leanne Sanderson. So 2 Man United fans commentating on Man United.
It's going to be a nightmare, those two, aren't they?
Coverage starts both nights, tomorrow and Thursday, from 7 p.m. over on TalkSport with Adrian Durham, your host. And then we got more live EFL on Friday nights. Blackburn against Preston at 8 o'clock. Nigel Adderley and Chris Awelemo will be at Ewood Park to kick off your weekend in fine style with a bit of championship action. We're back underway. Lang is going to be okay to re-enter the fray in just a moment. Meanwhile, Portsmouth have a throw in a dangerous position about 10 yards from the corner flag down this left-hand side as they attack the Fratton end in this first half. Conor Ogilvie can roll the ball back to Potts, gives it Ogilvie again, can't get past Bangura Williams, who just sticks his foot in, goes out for a throw, and Lang is allowed back onto the pitch. So we're back to 11 against 11.
Good to see he's okay. Run it off again. We know that the talent that he's got. He's one of the key players in this Pompey team.
Potts made an absolute Horlicks of that, received a throw from Conor Ogilvie and tried to help it down the left-hand side for Josh Murphy, but it just dribbled harmlessly out of play from the Millwall point of view. So the visitors get a throw in their right-back position that Tristan Kramer is going to take. Millwall have already won here in the EFL Cup. That was early in the season, and a player that Scott Minto mentioned earlier, no longer a Millwall player, Romain Esse, who scored for Crystal Palace on Sunday afternoon. He was the goal scorer for what was a Neil Harris Millwall team that night.
You know, he never switches off, Alex Crook. Chief football reporter all the time. He's now touchline reporter. He's just said to me, Pompey subs have hot water bottles.
Is this where we both say the game's gone?
The game has gone.
MK Dons 1, Harrogate Town 0 in League 2. Joe White for MK at Stadium MK. Here at Fratton Park, Portsmouth thumped the ball downfield. Decent headed clearance from Tristan Kramer, but Pompey onto the second ball. It's Marlon Pack. Sends it down the left wing for Josh Murphy. Trying to get Tristan Kramer backpedaling. Lovely cross into the box, but well defended by Tanganga. He actually clashed heads with Colby Bishop at the near post. They're both down, and the referee has rightly stopped play so that they can both receive attention. But again, Josh Murphy down the left-hand side with a smashing ball across. This time he did beat his man and try and find his player at the near post.
He's the best player on the pitch right now, what we've seen so far. Whenever he's got the ball, he's able to read the situation, as you said. It's not about showing how brilliant you are, it's about being effective. And if he just wants half a yard, he gets half a yard. He's quite happy to whip it in on his left foot. Or if he knows he's got a one-on-one situation and knows he's got his full-back beating for pace here, which he has tonight, then he's done just that as well. And another really vicious ball coming in. And if they keep on coming in like this, then surely at one time Pompey will get the ball on target and it could end up in a goal. So Millwall just a little bit on the back foot at the moment.
That's the voice of Scott Minto, former Charlton, Chelsea, Benfica left back, alongside me, Ian Tanter, here at Fratton Park. Burton have got a second against Reading. John Daddy Bodvarsson, what goal scoring form he's been in since he joined the club a couple of weeks ago. I think that's 4 goals he scored in 3 games. Very impressive from the former Bolton man to put Burton 2 up on Reading. And what will happen is, now that both Tanganga and Bishop are on their feet, it's going to be an uncontested drop ball that the referee will just drop at the feet of Josh Murphy, and play will be allowed to continue, and Portsmouth will be allowed to effectively continue their attack. In it comes from Murphy, and it drops over the head of Joe O'Brien and behind for a goal kick. Josh Murphy, who won promotion from this division with Oxford last season, and he had a big part to play in the playoff final when they beat Bolton. but Portsmouth snapped him up.
But do you know what? It's brilliant play again from Josh Murphy. It's an uncontested drop ball. He drops the ball and then has a chance to whip it in first time. Why isn't anyone coming in at the far post there and reading the situation? Joe Bryan in the end in that left-back position. Again, it's very composed play from left-back. His left-back just leaving the ball because he knows no one's behind him. Josh Murphy's putting his hand up and saying, get in there. It's a great opportunity.
Stays 0-0. We played half an hour on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. Portsmouth try and send the ball down the right wing for Callum Lang, but Millwall win it back. Casper Denora tucks it back to his goalkeeper, Liam Roberts. Short pass to the edge of the box for Tanganga. Bishop was trying to close down the angle, but Millwall get it clear. Connolly dispossessed by young Williams on halfway, and it's headed down by Ritchie into the path of Callum Lang, down the Portsmouth right. Lang tried to turn inside his man. One back for Millwall by Tanganga. Now Watmore's on his bike, trying to get down the left-hand side for the Visitors, but Zach Swanson put himself between ball and man and guided the ball back to the Portsmouth keeper, Schmidt. And Schmidt will have it again as it was volleyed downfield, but Hayden Matthews did really well there, the young centre-half for Portsmouth. On his debut, looking very accomplished already at the heart of the Portsmouth defence.
Yeah, he's a big lad, isn't he? 6'5". You can see that sort of commanding presence that he's got, but he also looks very good with the ball at his feet. He seems very comfortable with it.
Bradford 1, Morecambe 0 in League 2. Callum Kavanagh with the goal for the Bantams, who beat the leaders on Saturday as a big firework goes off just nearby to Fratton Park, just by the Milton end. That's woken a few people up. Not that they needed waking up, it's been a good game, this championship encounter.
It's been really well contested. You know, perhaps Pompey are just starting to edge it now in terms of territory and also half chances created, shall we say. Got the best player on the pitch right now in Josh Murphy. He looks certainly dangerous, but Millwall can look dangerous on the break as well. And let's not forget, they've had the best chance of the whole game.
They've only got 2 wins in 11 away league matches against promoted opponents, Millwall. But they did win against Plymouth back in October, so they can win on the road. Their away record is 2 wins, 7 draws and only 4 defeats. So the majority of their games this season, they've taken points away from the grounds they visited. But they're under pressure here as Pompey come forward with Matt Ritchie. Lang down the right-hand side of the box, drives it into the near post. It almost drops for Murphy around the penalty spot, but Millwall managed to smuggle it clear. Watmore lays it off to Bangura Williams, and this ball downfield intended for Ivanovic just drifts out of play on this near side for a throw to Portsmouth as Blackpool take the lead at Lincoln City in League One. Ashley Fletcher, once of Manchester United, and West Ham gives Blackpool the lead, who are 5 unbeaten, but 4 of those 5 games under Steve Bruce have been drawn.
It's a poor ball from Bangura Williams. You know, they're under pressure at the moment, so if you are going to play the ball up to your lone striker, give him a chance. Didn't give him a chance at all, and then he just give him the ball back.
Bangura Williams goes up for a header on halfway, beats Freddie Potts to the ball, but it drops for Portsmouth nonetheless. Murphy almost showed too much of that to Watmore inside his own half, but still managed to toe in the ball back to Marlon Pack, who drives the ball out to Swanson on the far right-hand side of the field. Ritchie showing for him down the line, but back it goes to the halfway line, and Marlon Pack slides it out to Conor Ogilvie on this near side, just tucks it in field for Josh Murphy, steps away from Kramer, comes further in field, out to the right-hand side. Swanson steps inside his man. In fact, it was Callum Lang, I beg your pardon, on that right-hand side, who just couldn't beat his man. Hayden retrieves the ball for Portsmouth. Colby Bishop waving his arms at the far post, calling for a ball into the box. He's not getting it yet. Portsmouth have switched it to the left-hand side, the near side to us and Conor Ogilvie. Deep cross to the far post, heads go up, and it's a good header straight down from Callum Lang, and it was well held on the goal line by Liam Roberts, and it stays 0-0.
Great ball from Ogilvie. We were talking about Josh Murphy down the left, and sometimes when you're the left back and your left winger in front of you has got the right back on toast, just give him the ball and then give him space. But this time Josh Murphy had got inside. Ogilvie did the overlap. Really good ball to the far post. Keeper can't come out. Decent header, rose well, but to be fair to the Millwall defenders, they made sure that even if they weren't going to win the header, they made sure that the header wasn't strong enough to beat their keeper, and in the end it was a simple save.
Portsmouth 0, Millwall 0 on TalkSport 2. You're home of the EFL, where we got 10 minutes to half-time at Fratton Park. Exeter 0, Leyton Orient 4 now. Dylan Markandé, former Spurs youth. I think that's 2 in 2 for him. And Leyton Orient are going goal crazy in Devon tonight. We're on the south coast at Fratton Park, where Millwall have just won a free kick about 8 or 9 yards inside the Portsmouth half of the field. Out on the left-hand side, the referee is just telling George Saville to roll the back a little bit further. It's more like 6 yards inside Portsmouth territory now. And then whilst the referee's back his turn, he just steals a yard.
As if that will make a difference. But do you know what? It's half an opportunity for Millwall. They've been on the back foot for the last 10-15 minutes.
Portsmouth holding a high line, but in it comes from Saville to the right-hand corner of the area. Drifts out to the near touchline, but kept in play by Kramer. Up against Ogilvie. Steps inside Ogilvie. Crosses with his left foot. Drops at the edge of the area for Saville. Saville just lobs it into the penalty area. Connolly's gone down. Half-hearted claims for a penalty from the Millwall fans behind the goal, but the referee says play on, and it's thumped downfield by Schmidt, looking for Murphy, but Tanganga with a calm header down. Couldn't find a teammate though. Murphy has it back for Portsmouth. Up against Kramer. Again tries to whip the ball in. Good whipping. Bishop flicks it up in the air with his back heel. Can't find a teammate. Freddie Potts is dispossessed by Denori, but quickly on the scene is Ogilvie to win the ball back for Pompey. And then Matthews out to the right-hand side for Lang. Lang looking for Matt Ritchie. Ritchie being pressurised by Jake Cooper. Ball goes in field. Ritchie loses out to Bangura Williams. Neat touch on halfway by Ivanovic, and then Bangura Williams again just keeps possession, turns away from the attentions of a midfield opponent, and it's worked back to Liam Roberts, the goalkeeper. Chesterfield 1, Bromley 0. Armando Dobra puts the Spyrites in front. No winning 6 for Chesterfield, but they lead Bromley in that League 2 encounter. Or clear shove from Colby Bishop right under our noses here, and right under the nose of the assistant on this near side who gave the free kick. And Millwall can swing the ball into the box from a dangerous area here, 0-0.
Yeah, shame about Bromley, that's my local club. But where Pompey have been really, really good, not only have they had the most sort of attempts, or certainly in the final third got crosses into the box, whenever Millwall have actually been able to get on the ball, talked about their high press and how it's changed. You know, John Mousinho has tweaked his tactics a little bit this season, what is a higher division. They're not giving Millwall any time at all to get 3-4 passes going, and then they're just knocking the ball long, and in the end Pompey are able to win the ball off the back of that. But again, just for the second time in a few minutes as well, this is Millwall's opportunity, a set piece. They're on the touchline, good ball whipped in, you never know what can happen.
We're in the 39th minute. Free kick for Millwall. Smacked into the penalty area by Saville. The heads go up and it was headed clear by Bishop. Bangura Williams lobs it back into the Pompey penalty area. Matthews heads clear, and a clear barge by Saville, which stopped Murphy turning and getting clear, and the home side have a free kick as Charlton double their lead against Bristol Rovers. Josh Edwards. And also in League One, Stockport take the lead against Shrewsbury. Ollie Norwood, another great piece of League One business, this time by Dave Challoner to get Oliver Norwood, who
great experience,
ran games so often in the Championship for Sheffield United. He's given the Hatters the lead. That's 5th against the bottom side. Josh Murphy can't get past Saville, has gone down holding his face, but the referee says that was a perfectly legitimate challenge from Murphy's opposite number. Lovely football between Bangura Williams and Denori, and Bangura Williams is set. Ivanovic through. Millwall with a chance. Oh, what a lovely finish! What a delightful finish from Mihailo Ivanovic. 2 in 2 for the new striker at Millwall, and Pompey fall behind from a quick counter-attack. Race Bangura Williams may have fluffed his lines with that chance earlier, but his ball through for Ivanovic was perfectly weighted, and Ivanovic waited for Schmidt to commit and then just gently lofted it over him for a delightful opener. Pompey 0, Millwall 1.
That's a brilliant goal. That is a really, really brilliant goal. And it comes from Bangura Williams, who we talked about how he had that miss, and is it playing on his mind, and whenever he's been on the ball he's kind of looked as if he's rushed and not showing the talent that he's got. But boy, did he there. just so much composure, and the weight of the pass was perfect for Ivanovic. Ivanovic still had a lot to do though. Defender chasing down, breathing down his neck, and yet he just managed to hold him off and just dinked it to the side of Nicholas Schmidt, giving him no chance whatsoever. Brilliant play from Bangura Williams. Fantastic finish from Ivanovic. Look, that's against the run of play, but it doesn't matter. Great goal from Millwall.
It's his 5th goal in just over 20 appearances for the recent arrival from Serbian football, Mihailo Ivanovic, just 20 years of age. But that was a finish of a very, very mature head on young shoulders.
Yeah, scored a great goal against Luton, didn't he?
Oh, the first touch was delightful to set it.
He also scored a freaky goal against Dagenham and Redbridge, where someone like Crookie and I were commentating on the game at the time, where he kind of fell over and then he's crawling on his hands and knees to head it in just 2-3 yards out. I like that. That's a proper striker's goal. He's a player. Certainly at this level, anyway.
So Millwall, as they were at Kenilworth Road, find themselves a goal to the good. But this time a little earlier than they did on Saturday lunchtime. But they've just conceded a free kick as we enter the last 4 minutes of the first half on TalkSport 2. Portsmouth's free kick is about, I would say, 30 yards from goal to the left of centre. Matt Ritchie is already directing operations, and there's a 2-man Millwall wall being put together, although actually the goalkeeper Liam Roberts has said to Race Bangura Williams, move away, I just want the 1 man in the wall, which is Casper Denore. And now he's switched and let Bangura Williams be the 1 man in the wall. In fairness, he is about half a foot taller.
He's equivalent of 2, isn't he?
He is. So free kick for Ritchie. This will be a left-footed delivery, swinging to the far post, looking for a Portsmouth head to win it. Lovely delivery to the far post, and it goes beyond everybody and bounces behind in the end for a goal kick to Millwall. But there was lovely curl on that delivery from Matt Ritchie. Nobody anticipated it quite quickly enough. Millwall lead by 1-0 on TalkSport 2.
Beautiful ball. Absolutely beautiful ball. Just crying out for 2 or 3 of the Pompey players to be coming in from the far post and getting on the end of it. It's gone over a couple, but how have the others not got anywhere near it? He can't do much more than that from where he was, 40 yards out. I think sorry, Dan, just saying that Pompey have been the better side.
Yes.
They've had more territory, they've had more possession, they've had more chances on goal.
As a ball is hit downfield, asking Callum Lang to give chase, but that's very calmly defended by Jake Cooper, and then a no-nonsense clearance headed back into play by a Pompey fan right at the bottom of the main stand where sat in. Good header, good direction.
A great header, get him on the bench.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, they've been the better side, Pompey, but it's that final ball that hasn't been quite good enough, or when the ball has come in, striker's not been able to get a proper touch on it. And the one bit of quality we've seen has come from Millwall.
Lang has slid in rather rashly on Kramer and giving away a free kick. No yellow card for the Portsmouth midfielder, but just a slight ticking off from the referee, Dean Whitestone. Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1. We're approaching the end of normal time at the end of the first half. Stewards are looking busy down beneath. Is Alex Crook up to no good just behind the benches? There's more high-vis jackets down there than there really should be at the end of the first half. I think we should be told. Alex will be back in action for TalkSport 2 on Thursday night alongside Leanne Sanderson for commentary of FCSB against Manchester United in the Europa League. Nicholas Schmidt has the ball in his hands, the Pompey keeper, drives it right-footed downfield, looking for Bishop, but Tanganga once again wins the header for Millwall, headed back by Marlon Pack, but then Tristan Kramer lifts it down the right side and asks Watmore to give chase, but he clearly shoved in the back of Conor Ogilvie, again right in front of the assistant referee on this near side, who had the easiest decision to wave his flag and alert the referee that Portsmouth needed a free kick for that.
Do you know what? It's just, again, I can speak from experience, it's just what the fullback wants. He's getting in there, he's got nowhere to go apart from maybe kicking it out or risking trying to get it back to the keeper. Then suddenly you get the push in the back, you go down and you think, thank goodness for that.
See, I don't understand the theory. We're into 4 minutes of added time, by the way, at the end of this first half. I don't understand what an attacker is thinking, knowing what you know and what you've just said, what the logic is behind putting your elbow into the small of the back of such a defender. As Reece Bangura-Williams is offside.
Dare I say that the defenders are the intelligent ones and the attackers are just
controversial, but I like it. It's what we pay the big bucks for. Portsmouth give the ball away.
Or just bucks.
But Bangura-Williams fouls Marlon Pack, and Portsmouth get a free kick. So we're into added time at the end of the first half. Portsmouth trail at home.
But if it can stay like this, Alex Neil will be absolutely delighted when we talk about how, again, possession, territory, chances on goal and off goal. You know, Pompey are winning that, but the only scoreline or the only stat that really matters is the scoreline. So he'll be absolutely delighted. But I just feel that Pompey will come on strong again in the second half, as long as they don't panic. And I do feel in Josh Murphy, and we haven't seen too much of Callum Lang, Matt Ritchie, Colby Bishop. They've got the potential to hurt Millwall for sure, but defensively, I think Millwall have done just enough so far.
Bolton 2, Northampton 1 at the Tough Sheet. Let me say that correctly. Own goal from Liam Shaw, putting the Trotters in front. Isaac Hayden trying to win the ball for Portsmouth outside the area. Did win it, but he headed it straight to Watmore. Watmore loses out to Josh Murphy, left-hand side of the area, driving to the byline, wins a corner off Tanganga, right at the end of added time for Portsmouth, who trailed Millwall by 1-0.
That's brilliant defending, though, isn't it, from Tanganga, you have to say. Again, not allowing Josh Murphy to get that ball in. He was inside the box as well, so if it had gone past the defender, then it would have been very difficult to defend against, and certainly anyone coming in would just need to get it on target.
Corner at the Fratton end where it meets the main stand, down to our left-hand side, and it's Freddie Potts who's going to take a right-footed in-swinger. Couple of Portsmouth players in the box, a few lurking beyond the far post, who make runs into the box now. Over it comes. Matthews tries to get his head on it, but it drifts away from him. It came off Jake Cooper. Did it last of all? It did, because it's a Portsmouth throw right by the corner flag on the far side of the field. Taken quickly by Ritchie. Gets it back from Marlon Pack and wins another corner. This time off Casper Denoric. Crew 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. Josh Nerfield equalises for the Dons right on half-time at Gresty Road. And now Matt Ritchie will have a corner at the Fratton end for Portsmouth. There's a love train of Portsmouth players lined up just next to the penalty spot, ready to break as Ritchie steps up to the ball. In it comes from the veteran to the near post, headed up in the air by Kramer. Matthews tries to head it down, drops at the edge of the area for Murphy, trying to snapshot off balance. Didn't work for him. Steered out to the right wing by Lang to Ritchie. Tries to get the cross and it's blocked and goes out of play for a throw, and Portsmouth are running out of time here. We're in the last minute of added time, minimum added time in this first half, and Marlon Pack may well just take a long throw into the Millwall box here. From the far right-hand side of the field, leaning on the advertising hoardings, giving himself the maximum room to hurl the ball in, headed out by Saville. Good headed clearance, but Swanson gives it back out to the far right-hand side. Pack's cross is too deep for Matthews. Murphy tries to keep it alive for Portsmouth down the left, but he's running away from the penalty area. Now gets his head up, thinks about turning inside. He's got Lang on the overlap. Lang, right-footed ball into the area, just over the head of Isaac Hayden, who felt he was being held, and the referee is not interested, and we play on, and the ball's just drifted behind. Millwall get a goal kick, and that may well be that for the first half on TalkSport 2.
It's absolutely brilliant defending from Millwall. Every time Pompey look like they're trying to get the ball in, get a shot off. Now they're closing down so well when the crosses come in. They're not allowing Pompey to get anywhere near it, or if they do, not get any power on it. Just fantastic collected defending from Millwall.
So Roberts will send the goal kick downfield, and that signals the referee, bringing the first half to a close. And Portsmouth, who need the home wins, it seems, as they're not playing well away from Fratton Park, but they trail here at the half-time whistle. And the first half really bookended by great chances for Millwall. One which was most definitely not taken when it should have been by Reece Bangura-Williams, presented with an open goal in the first 5 minutes, and somehow from 2 yards out, I jest you not, managed to steer the ball the wrong side of the post with the goalkeeper nowhere. But Bangura-Williams was involved in the goal that Millwall did score, sliding a lovely weighted pass through for the run of Mihailo Ivanovic, and the Serb waited for Nicholas Schmidt to commit himself just at the edge of his area and a cheeky chip over the Portsmouth goalkeeper, nestling in the bottom corner. Portsmouth may have had the edge in terms of possession, Scott Minto, but as you said in commentary, it's all about the scoreline, and with 35% possession, Millwall have the lead here.
Yeah, I think if you look at the stats, you'll say, well, how on earth have Millwall, gone in at half-time in the lead? But actually, one, you just talked about the bit of class play from Bangura Williams and the great finish from Ivanovic. Could have been 2-0, as you rightly say as well. But defensively, I think they've been brilliant. And it's not just about the defence. They've been well protected by the two in front as well in midfield. So they're defending so well as a team. I don't say they deserve to be ahead. I don't think they do, because Pompey have been the better side. But it's a classic away performance. Defend really well. Don't give any opportunities away. And then if you can hit them on the break, try and do that and be clinical. And that's exactly what's happened. And if they can hold this, they'll be 10 points above Derby County, who are third from bottom at the moment. Obviously, it's still a long way to go from now to the end of the season, but that is a big gap, even at this stage of the season.
8 shots from Portsmouth in the first half, only a couple on target, but it's clear that if Josh Murphy is given the ball, he appears, Scott, to be the man most likely to create something for the hosts here. Yeah,
absolutely. I think he's been very good down the left-hand side. And look, I played against David Beckham, who didn't have to beat you for pace. He just get some guy called David Beckham.
Oh, yeah.
And what was annoying about him was that you couldn't get anywhere near him. If he didn't see much of the ball, he'd come inside, and if you stay out on the wing, he just takes one touch and whips it in. And not a bad comparison for Josh Murphy to be had with David Beckham. But my point is that he's knowing when to play the ball in early, when to get that half yard, or when to run it as fullback. And every time he seems to be making the right decision. And he's still the best player on the pitch in that first half. It's just at this moment in time, when the balls have come in, the forwards haven't been able to get on the end of it properly.
There was a ball in early for Colby Bishop that was particularly worthy of note, but Bishop had a swing and a miss, Portsmouth's top scorer. But it is 1-0 to Millwall at half-time. Full commentary of the second half on the way here on your home with the EFL, TalkSport 2. And with that in mind, in a few short moments, I'll run you through all the score lines from the League 1 and League 2 fixtures that are taking place this evening. And we'll also hear from the managers ahead of tomorrow night's big night across the TalkSport network in the Champions League. This is EFL Live on TalkSport 2. A reminder of the score here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1.
TalkSport Breakfast in partnership with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Move up through the gears every morning with top-of-the-range sports edition, ABS, story breaking news, and more gold talk to the gallon. Plus, a stellar lineup of super celebrity sports guests as standard. TalkSport Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 on TalkSport with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK.
This Saturday, the £15 million lotto jackpot must be won, or thousands of you will win a share of the prize. But who will it be? Maybe someone bowling, like Les, who is pretty sure his lane's wonky, or Ellie, who has never bowled it. Get in, Ellie! Today is your lucky day. Lotto, will you be next? Play on app. The National Lottery. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
The Vodafone Big Winter Sale is now on. Get reliable full fibre broadband for less and save £260 versus BT. Just one of the amazing offers in the Vodafone Big Winter Sale. Hurry, this deal ends 30th of January. Go online or in-store today. Vodafone.
Save over 24 months with our full fibre 74 versus BT's equivalent as of the 12th of December. Full fibre, most reliable broadband per Ofcom. Terms vodafone.co.uk/broadband.
This February, stream Sky Sports Big Weekend on Now as the Arsenal-Man City rivalry reignites in a huge clash at the Emirates, while Tottenham head across London to take on Brentford. And the EFL Championship heats up with a Lancashire derby, Blackburn v Preston, and struggling Plymouth go toe-to-toe with West Brom. Plus, the best in the world tee it up at Pebble Beach as the PGA Tour continues. The Sky Sports Big Weekend, available with no contract on Now. 18 plus, UK only. Broadband 2.5 megabytes per second required.
Like some kind of pizza ninja? Domino's are slicing their prices. Domino's Price Slice. Small pizzas now £8, medium now £10, and large now £12. Yep, we're making cuts too.
Domino!
Minimum delivery spend, charges and areas may apply. T's and C's, see dominoes.co.uk.
At Lidl, you can turn January into Canuary by switching from Tesco to Lidl and saving a super £35 on this week's big shop at lidl.co.uk/save. Save like a hero on your weekly staples, your fresh 5 a day and big brands. Lidl, Retail Industry Awards Supermarket of the Year. Prices checked 20th of the 1st, 25. Tesco also sell other products. See online for more details.
TalkSport Podcast League. Outspoken. The best of White and Jordan.
White versus Jordan. Now with added time.
Simon and I have a different sort of opinion on this, as we do on various things.
When the mics go live, the gloves come off.
That wasn't a proper fight, that was a tune-up. Oh, no. Come on.
Opinionated debate as combat sport.
And most of these teams have underachieved.
Outspoken.
Listen or download for free on the TalkSport app.
My goodness, who could argue?
On your phone, on your smart speaker.
Or from your favourite podcast portal.
The Social with Adi Oladipo and Rory Jennings. Tomorrow afternoon from 3 on TalkSport 2. Outspoken opinions and decisive debate following all the action.
We talk about football in a bipartisan and educated way. Well, I do at least.
I try.
News, views, fun and football fixtures.
It's not just football though, bit of boxing, bit of horse racing, even a bit of rugby.
And it's a try! And some phenomenal guests.
If you can't get in this squad after showing the form he showed, I don't think it looks too good for him.
This is the place to be.
It's Addy and Rory. It's The Social on TalkSport 2.
What a goal! The Social. Tomorrow afternoon from 3.
It just works, doesn't it?
On TalkSport 2.
The unstoppable force of live football.
Brilliant goal!
EFL Live on TalkSport 2.
Race Bangura Williams, the number 10 for Millwall, finding Connolly. Left-hand side, gets into the area, pulls it across. Oh, what a miss! What a miss from Race Bangura Williams.
Just hit the target. Keeper was absolutely beaten.
I can't believe he's missed that. Comes out to Murphy, tries to volley it towards goal. Now with his back to goal, it's teed up for Callum Lang, and he shoots over the bar.
Do you know what? This is actually a really good game. Both teams are trying to get the win.
Pompey left, early ball into the box. Oh, swung across the face of goal. Comes out to Ritchie. Shot was blocked.
I think it's a game that deserves at least one goal, if not two.
Lovely football between Bangura Williams and Denore. And Bangura Williams is set. Ivanovic through. Millwall with a chance. Oh, what a lovely finish. What a delightful finish from Mihailo Ivanovic. 2-2 for the new striker. Pompey 0, Millwall 1. That is the scoreline here at Fratton Park on EFL Live on TalkSport 2. You're home with the EFL. Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1. Ian Danta and Scott Minto with you. Full second half commentary to come here. Let me update you on the scores elsewhere on a busy night in the EFL League 1 and 2. Practically a full programme of fixtures, and almost all the games bar one have reached the half-time stage like this one. So let me run you through the scores. In League 1, Bolton 2, Northampton 1. Burton 2, Reading 0. Charlton 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Exeter 0, Leyton Orient 4. Lincoln 0, Blackpool 1. Mansfield 0, Crawley 0. Peterborough 1, Wigan 0. Rotherham 0, Cambridge United 0. Stockport 1, Shrewsbury 0. Wrexham 0, Stevenage 2. Wickham 0, Barnsley 1. And just coming up to half-time at the John Smiths, it's Huddersfield 0, Birmingham 0. In League 2, half-times, Accrington 0, Cheltenham 0. Bradford 1, Morecambe 0. Chesterfield 1, 10-man Bromley 0. Colchester Port Vale was postponed. Crewe 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. Fleetwood 2, Walsall 0. Grimsby 0, Gillingham 1. MK Dons 1, Harrogate Town 0. Notts County 1, Carlisle 0. Salford 1, Newport 1. And Swindon 0, Tranmere 1. In the National League, Rochdale and Boston was called off. Barnet 0, Hartlepool 0. So the leaders being held at the break. And Southend 1, AFC Fylde 0. You're up to date here on TalkSport 2. Well, on TalkSport 2 tomorrow evening, there's TalkSport action as well, because it's match day 8 of the Champions League. A thrilling final day in store across the TalkSport network. We keep you across all of the action. We have live commentary on TalkSport of Celtic's trip to Aston Villa. We had a battle of the English Premier League and the Scottish Premiership last week with Manchester United and Rangers in the Europa. Well, both Villa and Celtic aiming to finish in the top 8. This is how the Villa boss Unai Emery is feeling ahead of this match.
Yes, of course. Very prestigious club. they won as well, Champions League. We are excited, motivated with our supporters to enjoy this way. We are with 13 points with the possibility to be in the top 8. We are doing very fantastic way in Champions League this year. Even we lost last week against Monaco. It was a very good opportunity we lost. But we compete and we played more or less in the way. And tomorrow is a very good opportunity against Celtic to enjoy here. Of course, I know some special match and rival match for the supporters as well. But it's fantastic to play Champions League matches. It's fantastic to play against teams like Celtic. I played before in Champions League against them with another club. And always is the atmosphere, of course, tomorrow is in Villa Park, but they are going to be as well supporters of Celtic here. And it's very good to enjoy football like that.
Unai Emery, the Aston Villa manager. So, the coverage starts on TalkSport tomorrow from 7. Adrian Durham will be your host. And Villa Celtic is live on TalkSport with kick-off at 8 p.m. at Villa Park. Jim Proudfoot and the former Villa captain and trophy winner Andy the top 24 at the moment as they entertain the Belgian champions Club Brugge, who are also looking to progress to the next stage of the competition. They are above City in the table, and the City boss is ready for the challenge that awaits.
I don't know, they expect a tough opponent. When a team is 20, 21 games unbeaten, no lose, it's because they are good. Otherwise, no, there are no secrets about that. So, and I saw the games. And I saw the reason why when I play against Aston Villa or play against that they beat them, or Juventus the last games, or against Milan they play good, and the way play against Celtic, the Glasgow, the games against Genk in her league, so they do really well. Different variations in the build-up, in a man-marking situation, and always uncomfortable for that, and I have to read well what you have to do. But of course, in every team, Manchester City included, there are weaknesses, and you have to try to discover them and try to punish them.
So that game, Manchester City against Club Brugge, is live on TalkSport 2. Stuart Pearce, the former Manchester City manager, will be alongside me at the Etihad Stadium. And of course, whether you're on TalkSport or TalkSport 2, either Jim or myself will keep you updated with all the other scores, because there's an awful lot of jeopardy, Scott Minto, on what's going to be going on tomorrow. There'll be a lot of switching of places for players, for teams getting into the top 8, staying in that next 16, or dropping out of the tournament altogether.
I mean, it's just an incredible story, isn't it? That Manchester City have been as poor as they have, you know, 1-2, lost 3. And we don't know if they're going to, and it's not guaranteed they're going to beat Club Brugge at all. Great game at Villa Park with Villa Celtic. I think both teams have done fantastic so far and just want to cement where it looks like they're going to be. But certainly with Celtic, Villa have the chance, obviously, of being into that top 8. And I think they'll be looking for all 3 points. But look, we weren't quite sure about the format, were we? We didn't know how it would go. But what I would say is, going into the final match day, I think it's a lot more exciting than it would have been if it had been the old.
Yeah, there's very few dead rubbers. There are a few teams that have no chance of getting into the top 24. However, those teams are few and far between when you look at Red Star or Slovan Bratislava or Young Boys. Don't forget, we're also just under 2 weeks away from Super Bowl 59, live on TalkSport from New Orleans, as the Chiefs and the Eagles will go head-to-head for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. The Chiefs looking for the three-peat, the first team in history that would be to win 3 successive Super Bowls, and the Philadelphia Eagles were their opponents in Super Bowl 57 that they beat. TalkSport will bring you live in-stadium commentary. Our team are heading out to America next week, and the Superdome is the venue. So to keep across all of our NFL coverage from New Orleans, just head to TalkSport.com and check out the TalkSport End Zone YouTube channel with exclusive interviews and in-depth analysis all the way up to the game itself on the 9th of February. Teams are back out here at FRATTON Park, and there's the blast of Dean Whitestone's whistle, and Millwall wearing their slate grey away strip this evening at Fratton Park, who have that 1-goal advantage. They're attacking the Fratton end to our left as we sit right at the back of the main stand here on the south coast. The Milton end to our right, where the Millwall fans are. That's the end that Portsmouth, in their blue shirts, white shorts, red socks, are attacking in this second period. No changes at half-time from either manager. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment. Incidentally, it was half-time in the 8 o'clock kickoff at John Smith's, goalless between Huddersfield Town and Birmingham City, 4th against 1st at the top of League One, the division that Portsmouth got out of as champions last season. This, incidentally, is Millwall's 8th successive season at Champions League, at Championship level, Champions League level. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Millwall in the Champions League.
That'd be great.
And they have a throw early in this second half. Cambridge have just taken the lead at Rotherham United. Ryan Loft, I think that's 2-2 for Loft for Cambridge as they lead at the New York. And Exeter have got a goal back against Leyton Orient, scored a 4 against them at St James Park in the first half. Milenic Ali makes it Exeter 1, Leyton Orient 4. Joe Bryan trying to go beyond Matt Ritchie, but Ritchie won the ball back for Portsmouth, slides it down the right-hand side, but Jake Cooper intercepts for Millwall. George Saville trying to get beyond his man, can't do so, and it's a throw-in to Portsmouth in their right-back area. So Pompey have Schmidt in goal, Swanson, Pack, Matthews and Ogilvie in a back four, Potts and Hayden, and then Ritchie, Lang and Murphy behind Bishop in attack. For Millwall, Roberts the keeper, Kramer, Tanganga, Cooper and Bryan, Denore and Saville, and then Watmore, Bangura, Williams and Connolly behind the goal scorer Ivanovic. And Millwall, who are one of the few teams never to have experienced Premier League football since the reformation of the leagues in 1992, Scott. There is that. Are they one of the biggest, if not the biggest club never to have played in the Premier League since its formation?
Well, that's a question. That is a question.
Well, there's two of the teams I would throw in there, along with Millwall, and they are Preston North End and Bristol City.
Okay, Bristol City's big for sure. I remember playing against Millwall when they were in the top division at the Old Den.
Back in the 80s, yeah.
Played against Terry Hurlock.
Oh, did you?
I played my full professional debut at the Den, at the Old Den. I went in late on Terry Hurlock after 2 minutes.
You fool. You mad, impetuous fool.
Even my own teammates looked at me and said, "You're on your own here, son."
And did he gain retribution?
No, Rhino did. Keith Stevens, 20 minutes later, hip high tackle that would be a red card and a 5-match ban.
Well, I hate to say,
then it was a yellow card. But you know what? I had stud marks on my hip for about 18 months, but it was like a badge of honour. I loved it.
I was going to say serves you right, but you clearly enjoyed it.
No, I did.
Portsmouth coming forward with Matt Ritchie, drives the ball along the deck into the area. Cooper helps it clear, but only as far as the halfway line, and Portsmouth have it back. Lang just trying to flick it away from Saville. Did really well, actually. Improvised a flick over the Millwall midfielder, and it's driven into the area by Ritchie, brought down by Murphy. Plays it across the face of goal. Oh, and it goes in between two Portsmouth players. Somehow neither Potts nor Bishop could get onto it, but Portsmouth still have it. Josh Murphy down the left-hand side again, level with the area this time. Potts makes a move in field. He's found by Josh Murphy. Good first touch from Potts. Goes down, but it's not a penalty. It's a corner kick. The Millwall defender got a foot in, and you heard from the ooh from Scott Minto next to me how close that was to maybe a spot kick being given away.
Well, it's one of those where you're inside the box and you're stretching, and therefore you have to win the ball, because if you don't, it's going to be an absolute penalty nailed on. Really good tackle in the end.
Corner kick to Portsmouth up the Milton end on the far side of the field from us. Again, a love train of Portsmouth players, this time beyond the penalty spot in actual fact. The last time they were right on the edge of the area. In it comes to the near post, dropped 6 yards out and cleared away by Millwall. They managed to smuggle it away to the halfway line. 19,814 inside Fratton Park this evening, including just over 1,000 who've travelled from South London, happy with what they've seen so far. Millwall coming forward again with Bangura Williams, and the deflection almost took it into the path of Duncan Watmore, but Portsmouth win it back. Good challenge from George Saville just inside his own half to keep the ball away from Portsmouth midfielders. Rotherham equalise at home to Cambridge. Malik Wilkes makes it Rotherham 1, Cambridge 1. And Barnet lead Hartlepool, the leaders of the National League 1 up. Ryan Glover with a goal. Josh Murphy with an effort from distance, and it bounced twice and through to Liam Roberts, who made it look a comfortable save in front of goal. 1-0 to Millwall on TalkSport 2.
Well, it was pretty comfortable in the end, and you know, we talked about Josh Murphy and how well he played in the first half. In one sense, you could say, okay, you're 25 yards out, have a pop, but it needs to be some strike from there, and he just didn't get hold of it. I have to say, though, it's been a really positive start from Portsmouth, certainly trying to play in Millwall's half as much as possible and playing with that high press again. So we talked about how they were the better side of the two in the first half, and yet Millwall, I think, have put in a real classic, fantastic away performance. They're going to have to defend like Trojans tonight for sure, if they are going to come away with all 3 points.
Portsmouth's last home win over Millwall was over 20 years ago in the Premier League era. Well, not so the Championship era, forgive me. Svetoslav Todorov, who was a Premier League player for Pompey, got the only goal. Ogilvie with a good ball in for Portsmouth, but collected at the near post by Liam Roberts.
I played with him at West Ham.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you
Good
go.
lad, Toddy.
Yeah, that was the Championship Portsmouth side with so much Premier League experience in it. 3 games since in all competitions, and Millwall have not been beaten in those. Cleared downfield by the Millwall keeper Roberts, but he can't find the intended target of the goal scorer Ivanovic, so Nicholas Schmidt will collect for Pompey. Yeah, 2 years in charge now for John Mousinho at Portsmouth. Got a 45% win ratio, edging towards 50 victories as Portsmouth manager, but he's heading for defeat here as things stand. And a yellow card for Race Bangura Williams for kicking the ball away after a free kick went against him.
Just on Mousinho, and I think we should just touch on him. No, it was a very underwhelming appointment at the time. There's a lot of Pompey fans who, and yet, you know, he was the set-piece coach at Oxford, and he came in and absolutely nailed it in League One, didn't he? And then, to be fair to him, like a lot of managers just say, this is who I am, this is what we do, I'm not going to change. He has changed. A very difficult start to this season fixture-wise. He's always going to struggle a little bit. But he's definitely evolved and said, yeah, OK, we're quite happy to play out the ball out of the back when it's on, but we're going to be a little bit more direct, and we're certainly going to press as much as we can high up the pitch. You know, he needs to get the balance right between the home form and the away form, because, you know, if you are going to lose and make changes as well, like you did at the Hawthorns, then you have to win games like this, and you can't always rely on them.
Josh Murphy again fires across him, but there was nobody keeping up with him really this time for Portsmouth. A lot of venom on the cross, but it was too close to Liam Roberts. We played 8 minutes in the second half. Ian Danter and Scott Minto with you on TalkSport 2, and George Honeyman is being readied down beneath us by Alex Neil. He's going to make the first change of the night as Roberts clears the ball downfield for Millwall left-footed. Again, looking for Ivanovic. Goes up with the debutant Hayden Matthews, who got something on it. Wrexham have got a goal back at home to Stevenage, trying to preserve that unbeaten home record, and Ollie Rathbone 2-2 for him as he makes it Wrexham 1, Stevenage 2. So we'll wait and see who George Honeyman, once of Sunderland and Hull City, is going to come on for. Meanwhile, there's a throw that Joe Bryan helps in field for Millwall, but it will drop comfortably for Marlon Pack. Just a little Cruyff turn to get away from Ivanovic. Fires the ball up looking for Bishop on halfway, but a strong header back from Tanganga. Ogilvie heads it up into the air. Pack heads it further clear, but Millwall might well win the second ball here, and they do. Kramer sent it out to the right-hand side of Bangura Williams, lobs it over the head of Marlon Pack. Still got it, goes down at the edge of the 6-yard area. It was lovely skill initially from Race Bangura Williams, but just never quite had the ball under his spell, and it ends up being a goal kick to Portsmouth, who trail by a goal to nil on TalkSport 2. Here's Scott Minto.
Yeah, and look, I wonder if he's going to be the man to be coming off here, but he's certainly shown Bangura Williams that he's got great talent and great technique. And as I say, in the first half he was playing out on the right. In the second half he is playing more of a natural number 10, but I just wonder whether the likes of Honeyman coming on, who has played a 10, I think he's more of a proper midfielder than an actual 10, but Alex Neil might be looking to sort of shore things up a little bit, and certainly he's an experienced man and will be able to play that role almost as a defensive number 10 if need be.
Well, Honeyman's been stripped and ready for a couple of minutes, and even though the ball went out of play just now, Alex Neil's not yet made the change. Now he says to the fourth official, I want to do it now, please. There's Portsmouth with a throw on the far side. And the player coming off
Watmore
will be Duncan Watmore, who, of course, as a player, has had such a wretched time with injuries, particularly in his time at Sunderland. I really felt for Duncan Watmore. Never got a fair rub of the green, but he's had a bit more pitch time at Millwall, relatively speaking, but he's making way for George Honeyman, another former Black Cat. Elsewhere in the EFL tonight, well, the comeback's on at St James Park, another for Millenic Alley. Exeter 2, Leyton Orient 4.
Wow. I'm there, what is it, in a couple of weeks when they got Nottingham Forest?
Oh, in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, the FA Cup looms large. Round 5. Round 5, or is it round 4? I keep forgetting.
4, I think.
Round 4.
Yeah.
I think I may well be at Everton-Bournemouth on the Saturday afternoon. And if it's anything like the Everton-Bournemouth game I saw in the Premier League at the start of the season, where Everton were 2-0 up with about 4 minutes to go and somehow contrived to lose the game 3-2, then I'm going to be entertained.
You certainly will.
Yeah, the FA Cup, one of many competitions we've got covered here on your home of live football. TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Premier League, Championship, Champions League, Europa League, EFL Cup, EFL Trophy. You name it, we got it. What have you spotted, Scott Minto?
just saying Millwall got a great game as well, haven't they?
They have.
In the FA Cup. Up at Ellen Road.
Yeah, an all-championship affair, but Leeds United leading the way. Got that creditable point at Burnley last night on the Monday night football that we brought you on TalkSport 2. Not a great game.
This is a better game.
Oh,
much
boy,
better.
oh boy. But that was just two really good teams cancelling each other out last night. Lincoln 0, Blackpool 2. Blackpool have a second, Oliver Casey. Marlon Pack with a very neat cushion header down for Conor Ogilvie on halfway. Portsmouth trailing by a goal to 0. Lovely skill, Josh Murphy to wriggle past Tristan Kramer, still going, and he gets into a sandwich of Millwall players. Denori and Honeyman between them brought down Josh Murphy. He wants a yellow card for somebody in a grey Millwall shirt, but what he will get, Josh Murphy, is a free kick for the home side. 1-0 Millwall.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a brilliant direct run, exactly what defenders do not want, and he's trying to evade a tackle, definite foul. Just, you know, it's one of those where it's just a little bit too far out to have the shot. There's going to be some strike to score from there, so then it's about trying to whip a ball in, maybe aiming for the far post, that sort of curling, so if no one gets a touch, it curls in. Nightmare for goalkeepers.
So Potts and Ritchie standing over this free kick. Right-footed delivery from Potts, or left-footed swinging away from the goalkeeper from Ritchie. Which is it to be? Well, Potts runs away. Ritchie will swing it away from the keeper, deep to the far post. And that wasn't quite the same quality as the ball he put in the first half. Or was it the case that the Portsmouth players were not where they should be for that delivery? It's a goal kick in the end, Scott Minto.
Well, it's a little bit of both, but I think it was an overhit ball that time around. And I just wonder whether that in-swinging, you know, defenders hate it as much as attackers love it if the ball is put in the right spot, because you're running towards goal and you realise you think you've got to get a touch on it, but you maybe can't get a proper touch, and it skims off the side of your head and could go in. So yeah, he's got a great left foot, didn't show it there, but next time go for the in-swinging one.
Tanganga lobs the ball forward, drops for Aaron Connolly down the left-hand side, can't get past Swanson, but gets it again. Always looked like he was caught from behind by Zach Swanson, but the referee says play on to Portsmouth, and Callum Lang gets over halfway, had a huge shout of man on as Joe Bryan was getting up to close him down, and he managed to get rid of the ball before he got clattered.
I think he had about 5,000 man on there, didn't he?
I love that. I love that when the crowd gets involved, it gives you a man on shout. Because you can't ignore it, can you?
If he knew 3 players were coming at him.
I'd panic if that was me and I got 5,000 people shouting man on. I think there was a monster coming at me. Here is Zach Swanson tucking the ball back via Hayden Matthews to the halfway line, and Marlon Pack for Portsmouth. Being closed down by Bangura Williams, but keeps it away from him. Now Ritchie down the right-hand side for Portsmouth. Hayden on the overlap, gets to the byline. Very, very deep cross. Murphy may get onto that, but Tristan Kramer heads it away for Millwall, and it drifts out of play on the far side for a throw-in. An hour gone on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. Portsmouth just ahead of the drop zone with this game in hand, trailing at home to Millwall, bidding to go 10 points clear of the relegation dogfight with the 1-0 scoreline that they've got, and they've just won a goal kick as Tanganga hit the ball against, I think it was Josh Murphy, indeed it was, and it's a goal kick which Millwall will probably take their time over. There may well be a little bit of housery coming in as the game goes deeper and deeper.
Game management.
Game management or housery,
that's
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
I've got to say, it's been brilliant defending from Millwall. Really has. Can't think of a clear cut on a chance on goal that Pompey have had.
Well, there was the Callum Lang effort from close range at the far post, which was a snapshot, really.
The one that he hit over?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there was one that was blocked as well. Or was it
from Joe Bryan?
Yes.
But Millwall have, they've scored, and then they've had the next best chance as well, haven't they?
They have. Oh boy, was it a next best chance. But they do lead, but they've conceded a free kick to Portsmouth. 62 minutes gone. 1-0 to the visitors from South London. Zach Swanson's going to have this free kick right next to where Alex Neil stood at the edge of his technical area down beneath us. It's very tight to the touchline. It's not like West Ham, the technical area at Portsmouth. You've got your own postcode at West Ham if you're a manager. But here it's very, very tight and compact. Murphy going on the overlap left-hand side. Lovely ball to the far post. Up goes Ritchie and heads it wide. One of the smaller men on the pitch, Matt Ritchie. He appreciates the quality of the cross from Murphy, but he just didn't have the height to get over the top of that cross, and the ball drifted wide for a Millwall goal kick.
But if he carries on like this, even if he's on the losing side, then Josh Murphy, for me, has to be man of the match. Down the left-hand side again and whipping the ball in. And, Richie's unlucky, really, because he makes a good run. He reads the cross. We talked about how we've not seen Pompey players enough when that cross comes in, reading the situation about where it's going to go. He's jumped up. He's got a powerful header, but he's just not got it on target. If he did, I don't think Liam Roberts would have stood a chance.
Bishop chasing a long ball downfield that bounces over Tanganga, but bounces straight through to the goalkeeper. Barnet 2, Hartlepool United in the 0 in the National League. Lee Undlove, I wonder whether he's any relation to Peter. Wickham 1, Barnsley 1. Their top scorer Richard Kone makes it 15 for the season with a penalty at Adams Park to square things up. Exeter 2, Leyton Orient 5. It's a hat-trick for Azim Abdullahi. And Birmingham City lead at Huddersfield by 1-0. Keshi Anderson early in the second half at the John Smiths.
Happy with that?
Oh boy, what do you think?
I'm not saying a word. You can buy yourself out of league.
I've heard that so many times. Yeah, we bought the league, fine.
I'm only joking.
Newcastle to come in the FA Cup. That should be fun at St Andrews on FA Cup weekend. We've got that live on Saturday tea time.
Some classic. With the round 3 of FA Cup, then there was a lot of the big boys playing at home, wasn't there? The fourth round looks a lot more exciting.
Yeah, Plymouth at home to Liverpool.
I'm doing that one as well.
That would be
great.
One of Plymouth will have, of course they've got the new manager, and one of their home form will have improved a little because they got smacked by Burnley.
They did.
Last time they played at home park.
Won't be there either.
Barnsley are down to 10 men. Mark Roberts has been sent off for the Tykes in their League One encounter. They're at Wickham tonight. That may well be a product of that penalty that Richard Kone has scored. Remains to be seen, but 1-1 it is at Adams Park. Free kick to Millwall. We played 65 minutes, 25 to go on TalkSport 2. Millwall lead by a goal to 0, and Bryan hits the free kick from the halfway line up to the edge of the area, flicked on by Cooper. Kramer almost onto the loose ball, but instead Ogilvie gets it half clear. Bishop heads it down into Ogilvie's path left hand side. He tries to clear it downfield, and Kramer will just divert it behind for a Portsmouth goal kick. And further changes, a triple change coming up for Millwall, and Portsmouth are making changes as well. Andre Dazelle getting some last minute instructions from Dan beneath us.
Yeah, I think John Mousinho has to do something. Hasn't got a sort of rich strength in depth on the bench.
Murphy in behind Kramer into the area. Can he pull it across? Oh, it's diverted behind by Jake Cooper. Callum Lang was waiting to tap it home, but a brilliant near post interception for Millwall by Jake Cooper means it's only a Portsmouth corner. Millwall lead 1-0.
It's as good as a goal, Dance. It really is. It's just brilliant defending. You've got a striker just behind you, ready to tap it in, even more in front of goal than Bangura Williams was in the first half. And to make the challenge like that when you're facing your own goal, knowing it could easily go in yourself and it would be an own goal.
And again, it was Josh Murphy creating the havoc. Corner kick for Portsmouth, swung in, right under the crossbar, punched away by Robertson, volleyed further clear by Connolly. But it will be retrieved by Josh Murphy. It's a diagonal ball, flicked on by Matthews. Good flick on at the edge of the area, almost ran through for Bishop. Now it's tucked out to Callum Lang. Tosses a ball in right-hand side. Headed away by Kramer at the back for Millwall. Just trying to turn the screw here, Portsmouth, but they've lost possession. Lang dispossessed. Ivanovic finds Connolly, and he tried to float it out to the right-hand side. He was caught as he tried to release possession. And Millwall get a free kick, and here come the changes, and Portsmouth are going to show first, and they will bring on Andre Dazelle for Isaac Hayden. So arguably a more forward-thinking midfielder comes on for a more defensively minded one, Scott Minto.
Yeah, and I think he has to do that, doesn't he? In terms of, he wants to try and keep a similar shape, but be a little bit more dangerous going forward. Again, they've been the more attacking side in the second half, but Millwall now, they've got the goal. They don't need to try and attack too much. Can't just sit back all the time. And the defending has been superb, but yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. As I say, there's not a great strength in depth going forward on the bench.
Quarter of the game to go. Millwall lead by a goal to 0. It's out on the right-hand side with their fullback Tristan Kramer. Tries to send the ball into the Portsmouth box. Lob back into the edge of the area by Saville. Touched by Connolly, and Ivanovic on the swing. 15 yards from goal. Just couldn't wrap his foot round it. Got way underneath it. And it goes over the bar for a Portsmouth goal kick.
That's a chance, Dan.
It is.
A great chance. It really is. Yes, he's on his left foot, but 15 yards out. So half a yard ahead of the defender. Hit the target.
Triple change for Millwall. And Reis Bangura Williams is coming off. He may have missed that open goal in the early stages, but it is his slide rule pass that proved to be the assist for Ivanovic's goal. He's coming off to allow Ryan Wintle to come on. Billy Mitchell is next to enter the fray, coming on for Casper De Norre in midfield. And Macaulay Langstaff, who scored bucket loads of goals for Notts County before his move to Millwall in the summer, hasn't clicked for him, I think it's fair to say, but he's coming on as a straight swap for the goalkeeper Mihailo Ivanovic as we enter the last 20 minutes or so of the action here at Fratton Park, with a scoreline: Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1. Scott Minto.
Goal scorer, you mean, not goalkeeper?
Did I say goalkeeper?
That would have been.
That's my deliberate mistake for the night, and you spotted it early. Well done, Scott. Well done. Excellent work.
I mean, what a great final touch that would have been for Ivanovic. It would have been 2-0. Well, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Millwall, Alex Neil making 4 changes already now.
Yes, only 1 for Portsmouth so far. Dazelle on for Hayden, and Langstaff trying to get involved. He's only scored once since his move from Notts County. His record there was extraordinary: 97 appearances, 71 goals.
Wow.
For Notts County. Cost Millwall £750,000. Stevenage have a third at Wrexham. Wrexham 1, Stevenage 3. Jake Young. I think it's fair to say Wrexham's unbeaten home record is going tonight. Burton Albion 2, Reading 1. Reading get a goal back through Michael Craig. Millwall coming forward, trying to find Langstaff over halfway, but it was intercepted was Mitchell who was trying to find him, who's only just on the field himself. Now it's laid off by Dizelle for Murphy. Lovely ball out to the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Callum Lang tries to swirl across him, but it's blocked by the backside of Joe Bryan, and out of play it goes for a Portsmouth throw.
Well, they can't give up. They've got to keep on going, and they're showing a lot of character in that sense, but they are just coming up against a brilliant defensive performance from Millwall, you have to say. Again, it's not just the defence itself. There's players running from the very front, not giving Pompey any time on the ball.
20 minutes left. Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1 on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. The big games will keep on coming from the Championship League 1 and League 2. The big commentaries will keep coming from the Championship League 1 and League 2, and we will be there for you right the way through to the end of the season, and then the playoffs. The majesty, the agony, the ecstasy of the EFL playoffs once we get into May.
I know them well, and they are just a fantastic experience to be part of, where the table just goes out the window. It doesn't matter where you finish, whether it's third, whether it's sixth, whether you nipped into the playoffs, whether you just fell short of the automatic promotion places. Really exciting.
I remember Portsmouth missing out on the League One playoffs on the final day here, getting beaten when they had the situation in their own hands, and they ended up losing out. They're losing here tonight against Millwall, but they're coming forward, and the ever-talented Josh Murphy gets it down the left-hand side, once again faced up by Kramer, tries to chip it into the area for Lang, but Millwall do enough to get it half clear. Ogilvie heads it back to the edge of the Millwall box, cleared away by Tanganga, up in the air by Mitchell. Then it's lost by Wintle, who was trying to bring it down, and Honeyman. Out to the left-hand side it goes again. Murphy whips an early cross in. Tanganga clears again. Straight onto the chest of Ogilvie. Tucks it in field for Freddie Potts, centre of the Millwall half. Plays it just to his right for Zach Swanson. Now Ritchie with a lovely ball into the area, and again Tanganga with a superb headed clearance, but it goes back into the box. Dizelle tries to get a shot away, blocked by Cooper. Bishop trying to get onto the loose ball, and Kramer gets it away. It's all hands to the pump for Millwall to preserve this clean sheet. And the offside flag goes up against the Portsmouth player, and there's a few high fives going in that Millwall back line. Tanganga, Kramer, they're all getting involved, Scott Minto, to preserve this 1-0 lead.
Honestly, Dan, it's just brilliant defending. It's just, you know, if you want to see any sort of manager, what he wants is defenders, how the ball's coming in, you make sure you get there in front of your attacker, or if he does get a header, you don't give him any ability to get proper power on the header. It's fantastic defending, led by Tanganga, but he's not the only one as well.
I don't know whether our good friend and broadcaster Danny Baker is listening this evening. Arch Millwall fan. He was set to renounce football on his social media feeds a couple of weeks ago. Not happy with the way that Millwall were playing. He'd be delighted with this performance.
Yes, he will.
The way it's going tonight. As will the 1,000 or so Millwall fans away to our right in the Milton end.
Also been told by that chief reporter who's...
Oh yeah, doing his job.
Yeah, apparently.
Alex Crook down beneath us. What's he said now?
He's telling me that Thomas Waddington has just been told to get ready and come off the bench.
Okay, well, he scored against West Brom. He got the consolation in that 5-1 defeat at the weekend. Another young Australian recently brought to Portsmouth by John Massinio. Be interesting to see if he is coming on, whether that's a straight swap for Colby Bishop, or whether one of the attacking midfielders will make way so he plays two up effectively for the last 15 minutes or so.
Be interesting to see if Cookie puts in an invoice for this work as well, to be honest.
Well, I'll be making sure that we keep. You know, we've got budgets to worry about here, so we've got your wages to pay. Never mind anything else.
I'm doing this for nothing.
Here is Joe Bryan for Millwall. Out to Aaron Connolly, left-hand corner of the penalty area. Jinks in field, wants to get a shot away, blocked at source by Swanson, but it comes back out to Wintle. Now Kramer looking for Honeyman down the right-hand side. Good challenge, Conor Ogilvie down the left-hand side, just lent into his man. Like all good left-back should, Scott Minto won the ball back.
Absolutely, and do you know what, I like him. He's a really good, solid championship left-back. He really is. Likes to get forward when possible, good defending, loves a tackle.
Oh, and Matt Ritchie was easily dispossessed by Bryan, but look at that, snapped into a challenge to win it back. Burton Albion 2, Reading 2, Sam Smith equalises for Reading at the Pirelli. They were 2-0 down. Josh Murphy inevitably again bursts past Kramer to the right-hand side, tries to get the crossing, but well done Tristan Kramer, in fairness to him, for sliding back in and diverting it behind for another Portsmouth corner. Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1.
And do you know what, to be fair to him, he's been done quite a few times, or even just on the half-yard the cross has come in, but he's never given up, and that again was another fantastic tackle, or a great fantastic tackle up against a winger that has definitely had the better of him pretty much from the start.
Murphy's had his hands on the top of his head for about 20 seconds. A, probably because he's cream-crackered, and 2, because he's thinking, how come I'm on the losing side here?
What more can I do?
Ritchie's going to take the corner for Portsmouth on the left-hand side, at the Milton end, away to our right. Left-footed out swinger, very deep to the 6-yard line, headed away by a combination of Kramer and Cooper, straight back to Ritchie. Going to send the ball back into the area, good ball. Up goes the keeper and claims well. Under pressure from a striker and from his own defender. It was actually Conor Ogilvie going up trying to win the header for Portsmouth in an attacking sense, and he's gone down. There's a Millwall player lying flat on his back. That's Kramer, and it's Ogilvie that needs the treatment, and it stays 1-0 to Millwall. And with this break in play, it gives me a chance to remind you of our live coverage coming up on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 tomorrow night. Champions League, Celtic against Villa is live on TalkSport. Our coverage starts at 7 o'clock. Adrian Durham, your host. And on TalkSport 2, it's Manchester City against Club Brugge. I'll be at the Etihad with Stuart Pearce. And then Scott is back with us on Thursday for the final match day of the Europa League. Spurs against Elfsborg. Don't know what sort of atmosphere you're going to be walking into at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Thursday night, Scott.
Do you know what? It's going to be really interesting.
Eggy, I think, would be the word I might use.
That's
at this
a heck
point.
of a word, that.
Yeah, it could be a bit eggy for Ange Postecoglou, and maybe more so for Daniel Levy, based on those banners that were unfurled on Sunday against Leicester, which were quickly ripped away.
And obviously they spent a bit of time before the game getting that banner all nicely set up. So
it's one of the
just an off you come.
One of the greatest banner stories I can ever tell you. For week when David O'Leary was manager at Aston Villa, for weeks and weeks there was a guy who tried to fly a classic black paint on a bedsheet banner saying Ellis out, right, for many weeks. Always got ripped away within seconds. And then David O'Leary, who was on a bad run at the time, said the fans at Villa Park were fickle. The next home game, I was covering it for TalkSport against Fulham, where the Ellis out banner used to be. It was a different. It was an orange bedsheet, again with black paint on it, but it was far more lovingly created. And the banner said, "We're not fickle, we just don't like you." And that banner stayed in position, right? Deadly was quite happy for that one to be flown, and David O'Leary did not last much longer. Double change for Portsmouth, and Hayden Matthews, who's had a good debut, I think it's fair to say, at the back for Pompey, the youngster, makes way for the returning Conor Shaughnessy, back from injury. And Thomas Waddingham is indeed coming on, so we can give Alex Crook, on a night off down beneath us, a little bit of credit.
He never switches off, that lad.
And he's coming on. It is going to be two up front effectively, Scott, because it's Matt Ritchie who's making way for Tom Waddingham.
And do you know what? I'm not surprised in a way. It's almost a bit like, OK, we've played this system, we've got some good crosses in, but if Josh Murphy can carry on putting those crosses in, and we've got two strikers in the box, then absolutely, why not? And look, I mean, what has Thomas Waddingham got to lose?
19 years of age.
Go out there, make yourself a hero.
Signed from Brisbane for £350,000 and got a goal on his debut as a late substitute against West Bromwich Albion. Will lightning strike twice for him, and he can get a late goal that can save a point for Portsmouth. But they're running out of time here. We're edging towards the last 10 minutes of normal time on TalkSport 2. That huge cheer you just heard was for Conor Shaughnessy winning a towering header on the halfway line as he returns to action for Pompey. Nice moment for him. Callum Lang rises to the challenge of Bryan, gets down the right wing, tries to swing across in. Good block from Connolly. Brilliant. It's out of play for a throw-in to Portsmouth that's taken quickly by Lang. Swanson pushing in field from the right-hand side. Gets to the right-hand corner of the box, plays it back out to the wing, and Lang, his heavy touch allowed Bryan to block the intended cross, but it's another throw down by the corner flag for the home side. Taken by Lang, gets it back from Marlon Pack. Can he get across it? He's got 2 Millwall players for company. The cross is deflected up in the air and volleyed half clear by Saville, helped further downfield by Bryan. And it's headed infield by Freddie Potts, quite neatly done as well for Dazelle. Lovely reverse ball up to the edge of the area, but Bishop can't win it. Swung out left, intended for Murphy, but easily intercepted for Millwall by Kramer. But his ball up to halfway only finds Marlon Pack. Portsmouth come again down the right-hand side with Lang. Early cross into the area. Jake Cooper gets an awkward clearance downfield. Bolton 3, Northampton 1. Aaron Collins for Bolton. Mansfield 0, Crawley 1. Eddie Adeyemo puts Crawley ahead. And Exeter 2, Leyton Orient 6 at St James Park. Jamie Donnelly gets a 6 for the O's down in Devon. Here on the south coast, Portsmouth have less than 10 minutes to try and rescue a point here against Millwall, who are heading for back-to-back 1-0 away victories. But here's Josh Murphy with a diagonal ball into the box. Oh, it's way over hit, and Joe Bryan can just watch it sail over his head, the Millwall left back, and it goes behind for a goal kick. 1-0 to Millwall. Scott Minto.
It's the first poor cross I've seen him put in, and actually he's come in so much inside where he perhaps just needed to try and play a pass rather than a cross to the far post, and where he really needed a sandwich, he ended up with like a 4-iron. I didn't stand any chance there, but he's been excellent. I'm not going to criticise him tonight. He's been brilliant putting those crosses in. Just needs, now there's 2 strikers in, just needs to keep that same quality up and see if Millwall can deal with it. But they absolutely are at the moment defensively.
It is still that Mihailo Ivanovic goal 5 minutes from half-time that keeps these two sides separated. Millwall 1 up. Cooper on halfway, tries to send it to the Portsmouth half. It almost came into the path of Waddingham via a deflection. Millwall try and send the ball early downfield on the counter-attack, but Portsmouth deal with it. Murphy on halfway, steps infield to keep it away from Kramer. It's been a really good battle down that side of the field between Kramer and Murphy. Murphy's arguably come out on top, but Kramer's never hid. But here's Connolly for Millwall, wins a free kick off Swanson as we approach the last 8 minutes of normal time, and Millwall have a free kick which they will try and float into the penalty area here, leading as they do 1-0.
Yeah, clever play from Connolly, just buying the foul there from Swanson when he didn't really need to, but when you're under pressure as a defender and someone's running at you and then just jinks inside, the danger is that you just kind of lose concentration. And again, we'll have an opportunity here on a set piece. The second goal kills the game. Pompey aren't coming back from that, but all the while it's 1-0. They're still in it, but can Millwall kill it off now?
George Saville's going to take the free kick, midway point of the Portsmouth half, but out to the left-hand side, to the near side to us. In it comes from Saville. Good delivery to the far post. Kramer gets up, but he was pushing in the back of Connor Ogilvie, and that's a free kick to Portsmouth. Chesterfield 2, Bromley 0 in League 2. Ryan Colclough, once of Wigan with a goal. I remember Ryan Colclough having to be substituted at Wigan because his wife was about to give birth, and he literally ran off the pitch, ran into a car that was waiting for him, boots still on, and went to the hospital to be there in time for his child to be born.
You are kidding me.
No, I remember
that.
I've never seen a player run off the pitch so quickly being substituted.
I don't know why the manager just didn't say, look, stay away today.
Wasn't there a story that the late great Trevor Francis said that Martin Allen couldn't go to the birth of his child when he was at QPR, and made Martin Allen play in the game?
Not many people make Martin Allen do things that Martin Allen doesn't want to do.
I've worked with Martin and I completely agree with you.
I've played golf with Martin, great guy, great company.
Oh, he's fantastic fun. He used to do a show with me on TalkSport on a Saturday night. He used to bring his dog in with him. He used to sit under the desk while we were presenting, and I don't know whether he brought that dog in as if to say, if you cause me any grief, I'm giving the dog the word.
Didn't need to.
Sorry?
With his nickname.
Well, exactly, but I never wanted to call him that unless I felt it was overused. Christian Sadie's coming on for Zach Swanson as John Massinio plays another attacking card from the deck. He's taken off a right back and brought on a forward in Christian Sadie as Portsmouth goes searching for an equaliser, but they've got a free kick to defend here first because Millwall have it in the centre circle. We've got 5 minutes to go of normal time plus whatever the referee wants to add on additionally. Millwall send the ball up to the right-hand corner of the area. Cooper goes up for a header from the back. Ogilvie heads it clear, again under pressure from Kramer. Again, it's a foul by Kramer and a free kick for Portsmouth. And you can hear the locals telling Pompey to get on with it. Down it goes, the centre of the field. It's picked up by Christian Sadie. Early ball, good ball for Callum Lang. Right-hand corner of the box, faced up by Bryan. Chips it across the 6-yard line. Just helped clear by Ryan Wintle. Comes out to Connor Shaughnessy. Good ball into the area. Oh, and headed wide. 2 players went up. Freddie Potts got in front of Thomas Waddington, but the ball just skimmed off his forehead and went a good 8 or 9 yards wide for a Millwall goal kick. It is still Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1 on TalkSport 2.
Great ball in by Connor Shaughnessy, wasn't it? Looked like he shaped as if he was going to shoot, and you think, you don't shoot from there, you're 30-odd yards out, and he dinked it in with a bit of pace. And if he'd have been able to get proper contact there, Potts, then he certainly would have tested the keeper.
Hasn't played since August, Connor Shaughnessy, and they've missed him at the back. Hopefully they can keep him fit. I'm sure John Mousinho will be hoping that he can stick around for the run-in. And here's Josh Murphy, who's been doing a lot of running down the left-hand side, up against 2 players, gets inside both of them to the edge of the area, went for goal. It was ambitious and blocked. Out to the left-hand side, Ogilvie's ball in, looking for Waddingham, headed away by Tanganga, who's got his head on most things that have come into the Millwall box tonight. Still the London side lead. Shaughnessy volleys the ball out to the left, and Pack, who keeps it in play just inside Millwall territory. Lovely ball slid down the left for Ogilvie, feints to cross, then does get the cross, and it's blocked by Wintle, and it's bounced behind for what is that, a throw-in or a corner? It's been given us a corner by the referee at the Milton end for Portsmouth, looking for the equaliser, but time running out at Fratton Park.
Yeah, and they haven't got too much time left at all. Got to put in with quality, but how many balls have we seen be put in? And Millwall have just headed it or kicked it out. Can they hold on? What could be 3 crucial points for them.
Freddie Potts is going to have the corner at the Milton end, right-footed in-swinger from him. Lots of jostling around the penalty spot, and the referee spotted too much illegal jostling, and he wants that sorted out just as the kick was about to be struck. I mean, if I was a referee, I'd say you carry on jostling and I'll just blow the whistle and give a foul once the kick's been taken, but yes, Dean Whitestone wants a fair fight. Still more jostling and lots of movement in the area. In comes the corner from Potts. Waddingham tries to get his head on it, but it comes off his shoulder as much as anything else, and it has been given as a Millwall goal kick, much to the dismay of the Portsmouth fans behind the goal at the Milton end. Swindon have equalised in League 2 against Tranmere. Paul Glatzel makes it Swindon 1, Tranmere 1. Tranmere deep in trouble towards the bottom of League 2. Swindon, under Ian Holloway, now 1,000+ games in management, have been pulling clear of those bottom 2 in recent weeks. Goal kick then to Millwall, who lead by a goal to 0. Swindon have taken the lead now, actually, against Tranmere. 2 quick goals. Paul Glatzel on 87, and then Harry Smith on 90 makes it Swindon 2, Tranmere 1. And Wrexham aren't done at home to Stevenage either. Wrexham 2, Stevenage 3. Max Cleworth up from the back to give Wrexham fans hope that they can preserve that unbeaten record at the racecourse. Heading to the last stages here, less than 2 minutes to go on TalkSport 2 at Fratton Park. Millwall hanging on to this 1-0 scoreline. Murray Wallace is going to be on to reinforce the defence very shortly for the visitors. Meanwhile, Langstaff goes up for a ball on halfway, and he caught Connor Shaughnessy. He thought he was being fouled, Langstaff, but instead it was Connor Shaughnessy that he caught, and so a free kick bang on halfway to the home side. Marlon Pack standing over it. Wallace getting some last-minute instructions from the Millwall coaching staff. Pack's free kick, looking for Shaughnessy to try and win ahead of Tanganga. Towers above him, headed downfield by Honeyman, looking for Langstaff, but Freddie Potts deals with it, and it's back on halfway with Portsmouth as we edge towards added time. Pack steps inside, but then he's dispossessed by Mitchell. Honeyman looking to release Langstaff. In behind Shaughnessy. Langstaff will drift out to the left-hand side for Millwall. Shaughnessy there with him, and Lang there too. Langstaff to the byline, and he's won a corner, and that will buy some time for Millwall as we head into added time with Millwall leading by a goal to nil.
Yeah, he's done well there. I actually thought he might even go towards the corner flag with just literally seconds left plus injury time. But he's with 2 players coming down on them. He's managed to try to get the cross in. That's been blocked, and now just take your time with the corner.
The corner will be Millwall's. I think it's Wintle that's taking it down to the far left-hand side, into the near post. Oh, and turned behind by Waddingham for another corner.
Play a short one.
We're into 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time. 5 minutes minimum standing between Millwall and another away win, and pulling a significant distance clear of the relegation zone in the EFL Championship. Here comes the corner from Millwall, deep to the far post, headed out by Marlon Pack for Portsmouth, but Honeyman picks up the loose ball down the Millwall right, tries to out-muscle Freddie Potts, but he's just given away a throw-in, and Portsmouth trying to get the ball back into play quickly, but that signals Alex Neil saying, no, I want to make the change, and Murray Wallace is going to come on for George Saville for the final substitution for the visitors. And George Saville has put himself about, as he often does, the former Chelsea man, as you were a former Chelsea man.
I was.
Scott Minto.
I am. And do you know what? Maybe a bit of sort of time wasting, and we know that Wallace is certainly good in terms of having that defensive head on, but I think George Saville has done very well, and might be slightly disappointed to be taken off. And I can also tell you, coming on with a minutes to go, when you're 1-0 up away from home, you're thinking, oh no, I don't really want to come on because we should go and win the game. And yet, if we don't go and win the game, somehow I might get the blame for it.
MK Dons 1, Harrogate 1. Zico Asare gets Harrogate level in stoppage time at the Stadium MK. Burton looked to have won it against Reading. They were 2-0 up, but then it was 2-2, but Roman Burrell has got a second and Burton's third. 3-2 they lead. Chesterfield 3-0 up on Bromley in League 2. Paddy Madden, and here come Millwall in added time. A goal to the good. Connolly steps inside. Shaughnessy goes for goal, and it's only just the wrong side of the post for Aaron Connolly, who knows how close that was. Lovely whip and curl on the ball, but it stayed the wrong side of the post for Millwall. 1-0 they still lead, though.
Oh, I tell you what, that was brilliant from Connolly. Deserved a goal. Looked like he was going to go towards the corner flag, and then he's just dropped his shoulder, come inside, and we're right behind it, aren't we, Dan? And we can see it, and it just looked like he was going to curl inside the post.
Fleetwood have beaten Walsall in League 2. The leaders have lost now 3 of their last 4. Bradford have beaten Morecambe by a goal to nil in League 2 as well. Portsmouth have a throw, left-hand side just over halfway. Ogilvie launches it downfield, headed away by Kramer. Protz gets a header. Pack heads it out to the left-hand side. Murphy, who's been brilliant all game for the hosts, wriggles away from a couple of challenges, comes in field, lays it off to Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy will play it out to the right wing, close to us, for Callum Lang. Lang trying to go on the outside of Joe Bryan. Lovely cross, deep to the far post. Tanganga went up for a header, so too did Colby Bishop, but he couldn't keep it down, and it ends up being a goal kick. MK Dons 2, Harrogate 1. Alex Gilby, as soon as Harrogate had equalised, MK go down the other end and win it, and Wickham have won it against Barnsley to keep up their charge. Richard Kone with his second of the game. Wickham 2, Barnsley 1. Barnsley were down to 10 men, and Swindon 3, Tranmere 1. Kabonga Shimanga gets the third for the Robins. Crewe and Wimbledon have drawn 1-1 in League 2. Still dealing in added time here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth looking desperately, increasingly desperately, for an equaliser. Marlon Pack for the host gives it back to Shaughnessy on halfway. To his left is Ogilvie, steers it out to Josh Murphy. One more run maybe at Tristan Kramer down that left-hand side. Tries to get the crossing, Kramer blocks it behind, and out it goes rather for a Portsmouth throw, left-hand side. Millwall are hanging on here.
Brilliant defending, you have to say again, though. Again, he's had Josh Murphy coming in 4, 5, 6, 10 times, but he's never given up.
Here comes the throw for Portsmouth into the area, headed up to the edge of the box, headed away by Wintle, volleyed back goalwards by Freddie Potts, but he's got it well wide, and that's a goal kick to Millwall, who will take their time over this as the seconds tick away. Crawley have won at Mansfield by 1-0. Blackpool have won at Lincoln by 2-0. As the results start to trickle in from around the EFL. And Millwall have this goal kick, and we are getting very close to the end of added time. Volleyed downfield by the goalkeeper, Liam Roberts. Headed up on halfway by Ogilvie. In goes Marlon Pack. Out to the left-hand side. Oh, Kramer's missed it. Murphy down the left-hand side. Plenty to aim at with the cross. In it comes, volleyed away at the near post. Goes out for a throw. There should be time for Portsmouth to take it. Stevenage have beaten Wrexham. That's Wrexham's unbeaten home record gone. Barnet beat Hartlepool in the National League. Portsmouth send the ball up to the edge of the area. Callum Lang dance down the right-hand side, whips his right foot round. It comes off the backside of Joe Bryan and goes out for a throw. Dealing in seconds now at Fratton Park. Have Portsmouth got one last chance left in them to try and equalise here? In comes the throw from Pack. Up go the heads, headed away at the near post by Jake Cooper. Anywhere will do from Aaron Connolly. Referee looks at his watch. We continue to play on here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth have a throw. Bang on halfway. And the full-time whistle goes, and it's back-to-back away wins for Millwall and Portsmouth, who gambled on 5 team changes at the weekend to rest players, assumedly, ahead of this game. Well, it's not come off for John Mousinho and Pompey. They remain just above the championship drop zone. But Millwall, with this second successive 1-0 win on the road, go 10 points clear of trouble at the bottom, courtesy of a beautifully taken goal. 2-2 for Mihailo Ivanovic, chipping the keeper after being sent clear by Ray's Bangura Williams 5 minutes from half-time. Portsmouth huffed and puffed in both halves, really. Josh Murphy, their star man, created many an opportunity. He doesn't deserve to be on the losing side, you would say, but that's exactly what he is on, because Millwall have taken all 3 points back to South Bermondsey. It has finished Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1. Scott Minto.
Do you know what? Portsmouth do not have deserved to have lost that game, and absolutely can claim to say that they were the better side. They had more possession, more attempts. You're talking 15-7. Just 3 shots on goal, but Millwall only had 1, and obviously that was the goal itself. But actually, that was a classic away performance. I thought Millwall defensively were nothing short of superb. You know, the keeper hardly tested, but when he did, he came out and claimed. The back four, marshalled by Tanganga, were brilliant. But the way that they just stopped Pompey getting balls in the box, the way they were harrying every time the ball was passed, if they were in the final third, and making sure they weren't able to get quality balls in. And even if Tanganga and Cooper as well weren't able to get proper headers themselves, they always made sure that the Portsmouth attackers not able to get proper connection on it. Look, I think John Mousinho will look at that and they'll say, if we carry on playing like that to the end of the season, we will not go down. I genuinely believe that. This is not a bad performance from Pompey at all. We talked about how they rely a lot on their home form and they have to start picking up the points on the road. But this was a decent performance from Pompey. They just came up against a team that defensively was so resolute. I couldn't be more impressed. Portsmouth did not deserve to lose this game, but this was a brilliant away performance.
Well, you look at the tail of the tape, 64% possession for the hosts, and they had twice as many shots at goal as the visitors, 15 shots to 7, 3 on target as well, but the one on target that Millwall managed was the one that mattered, Scott. Mihailo Ivanovic, 5th goal in Millwall's colours following his move from Serbian football. He's raw, he's still got a lot to learn, I assume, about the English game, but his goal on Saturday was beautifully taken, and a very differently beautiful goal, very differently taken beautiful goal here tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was a great goal. I mean, Bangura Williams, let's not forget, but he will want to forget that chance that he missed. But fair play to him. I think it took a little bit of time to him to get that missed chance out of his head, but he showed the quality that he's got. The way he just came inside on his left foot, then a perfectly weighted pass. Ivanovic still had a lot to do with the defender breathing down his neck and the keeper coming out. And the way he just gave the keeper no chance whatsoever. What was a wonderful finish. You know, you talk about the Luton goal, which is really, really good. Tonight was brilliant. I quite loved his goal against Dagenham and Redbridge as well, which I saw firsthand. A proper striker's goal, desperate to just to get that ball over the line. He's got something, Dan, there's no doubt about it. He'll get better and better. Absolutely. And he looks to me to be a very good championship striker. And yeah, Alex Neil, again, he's still trying to sort of show that he is a Millwall manager and win over a lot of the Millwall fans. Performances like this, just like the one against Luton as well, taking them away. I mean, you mentioned it, 10 points away from that dotted line now. I think they can start to look up and say, okay, let's play with a bit more freedom.